What if solutions to climate change didn't have to be massive to make a difference? In the face of rising temperatures and greater extreme heat risk, what if the key to a cooler, more livable future can be found in the places we pass by every day? Within our toolbox of climate resilience solutions, we can look to what are called last mile solutions. These are strategic, small-scale interventions that address crucial infrastructure gaps, offering effective and scalable ways to connect sustainable ideas with the people who need them most. This summer, Boston saw just 12 days above 90 degrees. This is slightly above our 10-day average, but by the 2070s, those hot days could more than quadruple. So this is not just a challenge, it's an urgent call to action for solutions that can help us thrive in a changing climate. Though unassuming, a bus shelter rooftop can be transformed into a green space hidden in plain sight. It's small steps, like growing living roofs on bus shelters, that can compound and ripple into big impacts for our cities, our communities, and the environment. In Greater Boston, our shelters are composed of glass roofs and panels, as you see here. So imagine, on a hot day, July afternoon, you're waiting for the bus to take you into town, and you stand under the shelter looking to shade yourself from the sun. But you feel hotter there, as heat is amplified by the solar-exposed glass. So bus shelters are a significant part of our region's critical transportation infrastructure. This is true for thousands of residents and visitors across Greater Boston to travel safely to and from home, work, and third spaces. So these everyday structures represent a perfect opportunity for a last-mile solution. So this summer, the city of Boston retrofitted 30 bus shelters with living roofs. This is the largest single deployment of living roofs on bus shelters in the US. We sought to address a small but crucial gap in our transportation infrastructure that has pretty significant implications for heat resilience across the region. So these living roofs are composed of panels of structural roof decking under layers of drainage and retention medium, and on top of that is a layer of thin soil where vegetation such as sedum and native pollinator plants grow. And these plants are resilient, they are drought tolerant, and they're masters at adapting to their unique environments and Boston's winters. So over the next 3 years, we'll monitor the environmental impacts of our living roofs. And while this is only a small part of the city's broader plan for climate resilient solutions, we're expecting pretty promising results. So the next time you find yourself on Malcolm X Boulevard or along Warren Street, look up. 50 years from now, Boston's climate could resemble that of southern cities like Birmingham, Alabama, making cooling interventions like these in our cities today essential to prepare for this future. So what are living roofs? What do they do? They're a type of green infrastructure system that integrates natural ecosystems into the built environment. One of their most critical features is temperature regulation, and this is key to combating urban heat and creating safer city environments. Recent studies by the City University of New York have found that living roofs could lower local ambient temperatures by as much as 2 degrees Fahrenheit. And a precedent bus shelter living roof project in Boston showed a reduction in surface temperatures by as much as 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But beyond cooling benefits, living roofs offer another essential functions, including reduction and managing stormwater. So this is crucial for preventing flooding in densely built environments. And according to the EPA, living roofs can retain up to 75% of rainwater. For our 30 living roofs, we estimate and expect that they can absorb up to 1,500 gallons of rainwater in a 1-inch rainfall, significantly reducing runoff and preventing localized flooding. And finally, in our urban context, living roofs create essential pathways for pollinators to travel, to rest, and feed, helping to maintain native biodiversity in our region. Now, Boston is certainly not the first city to retrofit bus shelters with living roofs. Around the world, cities are reimagining their infrastructure. So this is a bus shelter in the city of Utrecht in the Netherlands. The city is widely credited as the first to implement a large-scale bus shelter living roof program in 2019 with 316 roofs. Since, the number of living roofs in the Netherlands has expanded to 700, and it sparked the introduction of a no roofs unused policy, where every building roof will be retrofitted with either a living roof or solar panels. So it's success stories like these that show that small interventions can scale and have massive impacts. Now, Boston's program has the potential to go far beyond the 30 living roofs we've retrofitted this summer. There are 8,000 bus stops across Greater Boston. I'm sure many of you used one to get here. So imagine if every bus stop had a shelter, because they don't all have shelters. And imagine if every shelter had a living roof. The result would be equivalent to growing another green space the size of the Rose Kennedy Greenway Park. That's about 17 acres. The impact of a collective space that large could hold up to 14 million gallons of rainwater each year. And the collective impact of reducing ambient temperatures through a space that large could even have regional effects. So it's effective last-mile solutions like living roofs that show that holistic climate resilience, what it's all about. It's more than just an environmental win. They're a community investment that powers residents and also strengthens our future. So projects like these prioritize people-centered design. Designing for resilience means designing for people, their daily needs, and unique vulnerabilities. So in Boston, we prioritize the living roof retrofits where extreme heat, social vulnerability, and historic disinvestment overlap across Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan neighborhoods of Boston. We also chose the 28 bus route because of the high impact potential, as it's one of the free fare lines, and it's also one of Boston's busiest routes. Projects like these also facilitate cross-collaboration. Resilience is something we build together, and one of the most powerful aspects of these projects is how many different types of organizations need to come together towards a common goal. So for this project, we united residents, minority and women-owned businesses, nonprofits, and 7 city offices and departments in Boston, each bringing their own unique expertise and resources. And finally, projects like these are forward-thinking. They have to take a forward-thinking approach, and workforce development is a key part of that. It's a key part of successfully expanding climate-resilient design. With it, we can ensure communities not only benefit from these solutions, but they're also equipped with the skills to lead and maintain them in the long term. And by working with organizations like Youth Build Boston and PowerCore Boston, we're preparing underserved youth to successfully step into the green economy. In fact, with over 24 million green jobs expected globally by 2030, it's initiatives like these that can equip future generations with the skills to succeed in a rapidly growing industry. So, let's start viewing climate challenges like extreme heat as opportunities for innovation, opportunities for partnership, and to prioritize equitable processes and outcomes that can bridge gaps in accessibility. Thoughtful, small-scale interventions have a place in realizing a thriving future for our cities. And by reimagining our public spaces, one bus stop, one rooftop at a time, we're building resilient cities that can not only withstand the heat, but embrace it as an opportunity to grow. Thank you.